Okay, Sal891 versus Blank. Get some Greenskins versus the Dwarves. Taking a lot of the new units. Black Orcs, Gorbad, the Armored Orc R-Boys, and then Mangler Squigs. Love that. On the other side, we have Dwarves. Sal is known for sending us many a High Elf replay, and I think we found one or two to cast here. The man loves Tyrion, and I've cast a lot of Tyrion. We love Tyrion. But I also like see him on some other factions. It's pretty fun. So we covered that build in the loading screen. For spells, we have Brainburster, Fists of Gork, and here we go. On the other side, for No Name, we have Miners with Blasting Charges, Quarrelers, Iron Drakes, Trollhammer Torpedoes, a front line of Longbeards and Dwarf Warriors, Belagar Ironhammer, and then one Gyrocopter with Brimstone Guns. Honestly, this is the kind of dwarf build I like. This is how I like to play dwarves. This is how I like to cast dwarves. I do wish this formation was a little more spread out. His ranged units are going to run into issues of shooting over each other. And then he parks his butt in the forest. So that's going to make it a little harder for the Greenskins to get in there. But, yeah, I like the build at least. No Hero Hammer. No excessive Sky Cheese, just one Brimstone Gun. Mostly just solid Dowie. As the Savage Orc Boar Boys take a little charge on the Miners of Blasting Charges, quickly regret it and retreat from an absolute fusillade of fire. Fusillade? Fusillade? I don't know. Longbeards, still dealing with the Savage Orcs, get rear charged by Goblins, and all of a sudden, they're in thick with the fight. Black Orcs move in. Crimson Killers haven't popped either of their special abilities yet. Orcs Are the Best is popped onto these Black Orcs. 72 weapons, strength 65 melee attack as they try and get through the Dwarf Warriors who are buffed up by Mighty Oathstone. 65 melee attack versus 64 melee defense. Who wins? As Gorbad jumps onto the back line to stop the Trollhammer Torpedoes from shooting at him. Mangler Squigs have arrived on the Miners of Blasting Charges, stopping them from throwing those deadly volleys of theirs. And the Brainburster just knocked Quarrelers on their butt for a little bit. The Rusty Arrows are trying to debuff armor around and assist the Black Orcs, since none of these three Black Orcs are a primary armor-piercing unit. It's the Black Orcs with great weapons that do that. So the Dwarf Warriors are still dying, but it's just a stat stick attempting to do so. Left flank has entirely collapsed for the Greenskins. The right flank is doing well as the Mangler Squigs mangle their way through the Dwarf Warriors, knocking them around. And if any of them die, they'll start exploding in this extremely clustered up area. So that's kind of a lose-lose for the dwarves. If you kill the Mango Squigs, they'll explode on 5 units. And if you don't kill them, I mean, then they'll kill you slowly. Black Orcs buffed up by Fists of Gork continue to try and grind through. They are burnt by the Iron Drake Overwatch fire, but it's not enough to deter these stalwart Black Orcs of Grimgor's legions. Ruglin's Armored Orcs are dueling with the Gyrocopter Brimstone Guns. Gyrocopter Brimstone Guns does pretty bad damage in general, but especially versus armored targets, so that is a duel for the ages, question mark? Question mark. Mango Squig still haven't lost a model yet. There comes another Wah as they try and damage these guys. I feel like they're taking an awfully long time to not kill anybody, though. It's taking them a while. I believe Grace came home, because the dog is looking at me all silly. Alright, Gorbad is getting a duel with Belagar Ironhammer. Here we go, is popped to give him extra melee attack, and then he's gonna actually fuck off, leave Belagar alone. Looks like he wants to go deal with these guys. Now, trying to stay in the forest to protect yourselves is normally a good idea, but the forest is also blocking a lot of shots here, from the Trollhammer Torpedoes hitting trees and the Iron Drakes hitting trees. So forest camping goes both ways. It does keep you a little safer, but it also reduces your DPS by quite a lot. Trollhammers need to shoot at Gorbad before he comes for them. Looks like the Iron Drake's about to be pushed off. Greenskins pulling into the lead as the duel of true fates is back here. Ruglin's Armored Orcs just shooting at the Gyrocopters just shooting at them. Mangler Squigs are about to start losing models with that unit. They have 4 models left. I'm actually curious if we can see an explosion from them. Something just blew up over there. Not super sure what it was. Mango Squig still fighting Miners of Blasting Charges. Taking forever to get kills. I mean, this one only has 31 kills and it's been fighting forever, but I guess it's about paying for itself, so whatever. Whatever. Crimson Killers cleaving through the Iron Drakes. And the Quarrelers have been kept safe. They're trying to fire. They just don't have a lot to shoot at. You have Silver Shield Heavy Armor Black Orcs, or you have Heavy Armor Unshielded Black Orcs. And that's about it. Mangler Squig's rampaging. Gonna start exploding, taking out the miners with him, but unfortunately for them, they're not dying in a big clump of units. They're dying on some cheap, already wounded miners. Not ideal for how they wanted to go out. Dwarf Warriors fighting next to Belagar. Revenge Incarnate popped for him. Gives him an impressive 700 weapon strength, though not a lot of it is armor piercing. The Orc Shaman is going to walk away from this fight while Black Orcs continue to hold it down. Crimson Killas backing up Gorbad. Stopping the Dowie from shooting. Trollheim Torpedoes are going to try and fall back. Quarrelers are already trying to target Gorbad, but yeah, I think if you can snipe the Greenskin Lord, you might be able to bring this back, but otherwise it's not looking good. Is that another Here We Go? Yeah. Here we go. Crimson Kill is going to use that plus 40 melee attack and go nuts with it. Hang on. Base value 43, exhausted minus 28. So the Crimson Killers would have 15 melee attack right now? That is so fucking sad. That is so sad. Oh, Crimson Killers, what did they do to you? The Great Leader, and Here We Go, buffing them up. I wonder if giving them buffs makes the exhausted do more. I don't know. I'll see when those buffs wear off if that scales appropriately. Belagar is left fighting Black Orcs. He's performing admirably at that, but he is, you know, surrounded by Black Orcs, so it's going to go about as well as it goes. As we do have some more Quarrelers coming back to the fight, shooting at the Rusty Errors, shooting at Ruglin's Armored Orcs, who apparently beat those Gyrocopters. Okay. Alright. And still Gorbad and the Orc Shaman routing these guys that are hiding in the trees. So the Dwarves getting a bit of a second shot at this. Just all these rallied units. And Iron Drakes in the late game can be a menace, because their discouraged leadership thing from burning people, it's not like it scales with their HP. One Iron Drake shooting that is as effective as 30. You just lower Greenskin leadership in the late game, and that could be it. Maestro Blast and Charges charging back into the fight. Gorbad hasn't taken that much damage, and Morglor the Mangler. Whatever. Stupid ass name. That thing is popped, and he's trying to cleave through more dwarves with it. Big problem for the dwarves is going to be the characters. Mangler Squigs aren't that big of a problem. They can deal with it. Gorbad is healthy, the Orc Shaman is healthy, and Belagar is not. If he has Mighty Oathstone and Revenge Incarnate, he can get some pretty spooky melee stats going. But I just saw him use Mighty Oathstone, so it's going to be on cooldown if Gorbad takes a fight with him. Dwarves are taking forever to die. Part of that is Mangler Squigs take forever to kill anything now. But also dwarves take forever to die. Times 3 speed as they figure their shit out. Some of the dwarves are trying to rally up, reform the lines. The Greenskins are going to go try and run them down, sort of. They reset. Alright, and here we go. Revenge Incarnate should be up for Belagar. I don't know about the Mighty Oathstone. He gets a good shot into Belagar right away. Revenge Incarnate is not popped yet as we get an Here We Go. Gorbad is chilling. Yes, exhausted scales with your melee attack. Interesting. So he gets more exhausted penalties for the more buffs he gets. I did not know that. We learned today. Belagar has not gotten any of his buffs, and he is still doing pretty decently against Gorbad, honestly. Morgul the Mangler, and Here We Go for Gorbad, and Belagar doesn't have Revenge Incarnate or anything. Another Wah is out, but over the tops, the Iron Drakes are firing. Quarrelers also firing over here, and Mangler Squigs are in the middle of the Crimson Killers, so if they explode now, they'll take the Crimson Killers with them. But Gorbad finally gets a good shot into Belagar, routs him after taking an insane amount of HP. He kills the Dwarven Lord, and with that, army losses will take hold. That got a little spooky. I mean, the Greenskin build essentially came down to a full health Shaman, and that's it. These Mangler Squigs were not full HP. They had 4 models, but they weren't full HP. Manglers did okay in the end. I think they have been over-nerfed, for sure. Archers did fine. Crimson Killers and the other Black Orcs did fine. Gorbad did very well. Orc Shaman did fine. For No Name, Belagar did well, though he didn't have Revenge Incarnate and Mighty Oathstone at the end and when he really needed it, so that was a bit of a whoopsie. Maybe popped that prematurely. Quarrelers did well. Iron Drakes did well. Trollhammers did fine. Gyrocopter Brimstone Guns are still disappointing.
Roar. Subscribe, yes, yes.